What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of In The Franxx episode 2. And this week things got a little bit weird. Just a little bit. I mean, some of the things that went on in this episode was enough to divide the anime community, or if they're going to even stick with this series or not, because things got really lewd in this series. I mean, oh my god. The whole aspect of how you pilot a Franxx has been the result of comedy for the last day or so. And it's also, you know, I can understand why someone would probably look at this series and be like, you know, fuck it, I'm not watching this, because it is really interesting that there's a male pilot and a female pilot, and the female straight up gets in doggy position inside of this robot, and on the back of her head is a monitor, and the male pilot is behind her, and she has like controllers or like handles that come out from her waist to hip area, and the man is straight up straddling her, and that is how you pilot the Franxx. That is how you ride the Franxx. Like, come on girl, let me ride that Franxx. And just some of the views that we got, you know, we got a little bit of fan service, and just how you pilot this thing in general. I can totally understand how somebody would drop this series. And, you know, it's just Trigger being Trigger and their little bit perverseness that they always bring to certain things. But this was wild, and I hope it really is more to it, because this is something that's not going to go away. This wasn't just like a scene or something that they did for the episode. This is a very big part of the series, because this is how you actually pilot the machines that we're gonna go on. And for them to choose to do something like that, yeah, they just didn't give any fucks, did they? That's straight up hentai. I'm pretty sure there's already some bad fan art out there, because we've already seen the one scene where the guy was behind the girl straddling her and was like, quit making weird noises. I mean, yeah, this isn't going to be good. But besides that, it was still an enjoyable episode. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first episode, but this was the one that kind of explained what was going on. We learned how, even though how perverse it is that we pilot the Franxx, but we learned what's going on as well as this dark council. Of course, it's always a dark council when you deal with things like this that 02 comes from. Was want to test to see if what Hiro did was a fluke, or is he really that good and have enough potential to ride with her, because 02 has a reputation that anybody that rides with her 3 times ultimately dies. So he only got 2 tries left, and they don't necessarily want to use him yet, but they want to see if he really does have the potential, or again, if it was a fluke, because he straight up failed this test the first time. And I believe the lady that is over them, and I'm still trying to learn everybody in this series names, she's kind of like the mother figure, or like the commanding officer of everybody in this series. And we also get the resident asshole this week, who looks to be a rival of Hiro, who's probably going to make a noble sacrifice before this is all over. Usually when someone's this much of an asshole in a mecha series, they usually have a change of heart. So we got introduced to him as well. Again, the mother aspect, I can't remember her name, guys, I'm sorry, but the commanding officer, the lady with the red hair that everybody's in love with right now, is their commanding officer. I'm pretty sure she's in cahoots with these group of people who want to conduct this experiment to see just how Hiro matches up as they go on a trial run with Ichigo, who looks very much like Naomi, who was the girl who was supposed to have died last episode, but she didn't. In fact, she was just crushed, but they said she's hospitalized. And I wonder how dark this series is going to get, because when you deal with robots, when you deal with, you know, monsters and things coming, it could get very dark. I don't know if we're gonna lose some people or not. I think if we were, we would have lost Naomi, because she straight up got wiped out at the end of that episode, and they said she's okay. So maybe it won't get that bad where we'll start losing people in this series, but it does have that potential of darkness there that's still hidden that we don't know about, because when someone fails, we don't know where they go. But again, not to get too far off topic, the point of this episode was everybody to pilot their Franxx, learn how to pilot their Franxx, and test Hiro's potential. And also with 02 getting acclimated with everyone around her, as they aren't too keen with her being around. She's from another area. She doesn't belong in this school or class or wherever they are, but she has this bond with her darling Hiro. She's not going anywhere. She's confident that she's not going anywhere, as he is her match. They made that kiss, that bond, and we now see, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a love triangle, but we definitely gonna see a struggle between Ichigo and 02 over Hiro, because Ichigo is very protective of Hiro and his feelings, and she just doesn't like the way that 02 is around him at all, and she spends a majority of the episode trying to one-up or prove that she could be just as good as 02 is. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes out, even to the point where she volunteered to do the test for Hero to see if he's compatible. Even though he's a straight up failure and these two have failed before, she still wanted to give her all and let him ride that Franxx and see how it works out, and the results wasn't that good. I mean, he straight up couldn't get it up with her, and yeah, this series is gonna get bad. But there are other things involved in this episode besides, you know, how you ride the Franxx, which is, I'm sorry, that's just the biggest thing that I got out of this episode. We also learned the main name of the Franxx, which is Strelitzia, so that's a pretty cool looking Franxx. I mean, and we found out that when it's in that tiger form, that is actually when 02 can pilot it by herself. I really would like a figure of that, especially if it could transform from that tiger form to the pretty guardian form, and they actually have real faces instead of robot faces, so that's pretty cool too. But we learned that the two pilots in the Franxx must be 100% in sync with each other. They must trust each other to the utmost, or it's not going to work. So that reminds me of Pacific Rim, just like I said in the last episode. If you haven't seen that movie, that'll give you an idea of what they're talking about, how these two have to be in sync. And the trial course was a failure on both sides, for both Ichigo and Hero, as well as their opponents, because they were just all over the place, either trying to upstage each other or trying to prove that they can do something that they can't. It was just a failure all across the board, but they're going to need to get together and get together quick. And that was the episode, guys. I know it probably isn't the best video, but again, I say I really liked episode 1 more than I liked episode 2. Hopefully episode 3 will have a stronger showing, because that one aspect of the piloting probably lost a lot of people, unless you're just in for the long haul. So let me know what you think about that. Was that enough to make you drop this series, or are you just gonna look by it like me and just keep going and just laugh it off? Because I do want to watch the series, and it's gonna be a very long haul. It's gonna be 24 episodes, and hell, come on, I started watching Keijo, so this should be nothing just to see how you pilot these things and drop the series completely. I just hope once it gets down and dirty into the story that it takes itself a little bit more seriously, because that's what I'm looking for overall. It wouldn't be that's what turned me off. It'll be just that it's not what I came here to see. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the video in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead, drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's not a shortage of content for you to indulge on this channel. As I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.